They say there was once a kingdom whose name tasted like honey on the tongue, a name so beautiful, so resonant, that travelers carried it on their breath across vast deserts and overturning oceans, a melody whispered from one caravan to the next. Yet today, no one remembers it. Not the elders with their eyes full of yesterday. Not the scholars with their stacks of dusty, nameless maps. Not even the land itself, which has forgotten the sound of its own heartbeat. They simply call it the kingdom that forgot itself. Long, long ago, this kingdom was not a whisper but a roar, a beacon of deep, profound knowledge. Its people were astronomers and poets, healers and philosophers. They charted the courses of stars, mapping the heavens with an intimacy we can barely imagine. They understood the subtle language of the seasons, the hidden properties of plants, the earth's deepest mysteries. Their knowledge was a living thing, a legacy woven into the very fabric of their society. They carved their grand stories into monumental stones that defied time. They wrote them on fragile leaf and cured animal skin, preserving every nuance. They sang their history into the bones of time itself, ensuring that every child was born into a world rich with meaning and purpose. Their past was their anchor, their present a celebration of it, and their future a continuation of that grand narrative. But then, as stories often go, a shadow fell. A new ruler ascended to the throne, a man who possessed a fear more corrosive than any invading army, a fear of knowledge. He looked at his people, with their rich heritage and their deep understanding of who they were, and he saw not strength, but a threat. He lived by a chillingly simple and devastatingly effective belief: if the people forget their past, they will never question their present. For a people without history are a people without roots, easily swayed, easily controlled. Their identity is not their own, but whatever their ruler decrees it to be. And so, he began his silent, insidious war. He didn't need swords or soldiers. His weapons were silence and fire. The grand libraries, once the vibrant heart of the kingdom, were locked away, their doors barred, their wisdom left to molder in the dark. The storytellers, the living repositories of memory, were silenced, their voices forbidden, their songs fading into forgotten echoes. And then came the fires. Great pyres were lit in the public squares, fueled not by wood, but by scrolls, by books, by poems, by generations of accumulated wisdom. The air grew thick with the ash of their own identity. He systematically, meticulously, erased the memory of his own land. Slowly, like a creeping frost, the forgetting took hold. It didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual fading. A generation passed, and the names of the founding heroes became muddled. Another generation, and the great victories that had defined their strength became little more than children's fables, their details blurred and their significance lost. The roads that led back to their founding, both literal and metaphorical, became overgrown and impassable. The people stopped asking questions. They stopped looking back. The carved stones became mere decorations, their inscriptions unreadable. The songs were just tunes without words. Until one morning, the kingdom awoke to a profound and unnerving silence. The sun rose as it always did, the markets bustled, people went about their day, but something was fundamentally missing. They looked at their walls, their homes, their own faces in the reflection of the water. And they realized they had no name for the place they lived. The word, once like honey, had dissolved completely. They had become a kingdom without a name, a people without a past. History teaches us a stark and vital lesson through this cautionary tale: a people who forget their story become shadows of themselves. They lose their compass, their strength, their very soul. Their identity is hollowed out, leaving a void that can be filled by anything, or anyone, who wishes to control them. They wander through their own lives as strangers in their own land. And so, here, under the flickering light of our modern fires, in the glow of our screens, we do the opposite. We choose to remember. We choose to tell the stories. Because in every story told, in every piece of history shared, we are not just looking back. We are reforging our identity, strengthening our foundations, and ensuring that we, unlike that forgotten kingdom, will always know who we are. Thank you for listening. If you believe in the power of stories to shape our world, subscribe for more tales like this one.